So we're gonna ask you some questions
Sure.
that we collected from the Korean community.
Yeah.
First one was, in the bear market, what is VeChain's strategy to survive?
Well, I think we didn't change that much. Still focus on what we're supposed to focus, which means, continue to build applications, engage more builders, coming to the blockchain, create the valuable transactions, meaning those applications needs to be generating the value for business. So that can last longer, that can really, for mass adoption, serve the business with the value, and eventually get back to, get more resource back to the technology development. So honestly, we didn't change too much. We still keep focused on what we're supposed to do. And for sure, in terms of the expense, in terms of the cost, we need to be very cautious because the bear market, eventually we gotta survive, right?
Right. All right, thank you. And then the second question was, so the President Xi, he announced that the blockchain will be the main technology for in the 5-year plan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he mentioned that back in 2016. So how do you think this is going to impact the market or industry?
Yeah, well, you saw the market reaction. At that day, the Bitcoin was went to the roof. And also following the days, several bunch of crypto projects, including VeChain, is also, enjoy the rising. Actually, it's not really surprising because China has been very bullish and supportive in terms of blockchain technology. Even though people are talking about in 2017, there was kind of crypto trading ban. It's still banning right now, but it's actually not. I think there was some misunderstanding for that. Even before that kind of banning, by end of 2016, China government released a 5 years national plan, from 16 to 21. And they put 2 technologies inside of the national plan. One is AI, another one is blockchain. So China has been really supportive of the blockchain technology, but really wanted to go the right way. They want to encourage people to go the right way, to focus on, bring the technology to the business, create the applications, create the value, that kind of thing, other than just trading the cryptos or hype or bubbles or even a scam. For sure it should be kicked out. So I would say it's more it's quite consistent for the China government policies, but for sure it's a big news because the president made the big announcement and raised up the technology to be the national level strategy. Everybody is super exciting. I would say it's very positive impact to the market for sure, and most of the startup, including us, get really motivated, especially VeChain. President mentioned about several possible directions, like counterfeiting, fighting against the counterfeiting, food safety, traceability, environmental protection. That's all the things we have been doing. So we predicted, that's the right direction, and we're quite excited for sure. At the same time, I told my team, including myself, we need to stay calm, don't go too hype, and we could be excited, but we need to focus on what we can do. Eventually, we're set up. Even now, we have almost 100 people around the world, 8 operational offices, but still, we're set up. If we expand too much, we could die quickly, right? It could run higher risk. So we need to be really good at what we can do and what we can really focus on, and go deeper and be the master in some of the areas, which is enterprise adoption, mass adoptions. Then we're good.
Thank you. And then for the third question, we want to know about you more as a person rather than the CEO of VeChain. So one question we had from the community was, who's the CEO that you respect the most?
Okay, that's a good question. I would say the first name popping in my head is Steve Jobs. Even he passed away, but he's the most, let's say, powerful, innovative, and passionate CEO I ever know. If we talk somebody living right now, I would say Elon Musk. Because he not really think about only the profits or money. Even he do some weird stuff during the interview or audience,
Absolutely.
or something like that. But he's looking really higher view, higher sights, and looking for the entire humanity, for the entire planet, other than just country or just the company, whatever it has been doing. It's really exciting, not only for bunch of people or shareholders or employees, but also for the entire humanity. So it's really impressive.
Got it. And then we have our last question. So time is almost up. This can be a challenging question.
Sure.
But so community is curious about the pool for the enterprises, right?
Uh-huh.
We know that VChain has been doing great. We see very significant partnerships with Walmart and all other great enterprises. But when do you expect the enterprise pool to completely be sold to partners or to these enterprises?
You mean the token allocation?
Yes.
Not actually. I mean, that kind of an enterprise pool is not really sold to the enterprise, but for more like incentive or using for the expense for any kind of programs to bring more enterprise come on to build up. So for sure we're not giving them free tokens
Definitely.
to build up application or run a smart contract. But for example, if they want to try something for like a small scope, limit consumption of the token, yeah, we can provide that for sure to engage them, like give some good to try, and once they try, they can build more, they can consume more.
Right.
I give an example. Our first client was Givenchy, right? And when we get started, we just tested one line of product. I still remember the number is 1,583 pieces
Whoa.
for that SKU. So we just started one SKU, right? And now we're covering 100% of leather goods of the global Givenchy, and also next year our target is to extend to sneakers and ready-to-wears. So for sure Givenchy will pay for that, and eventually the value will go to the network, entire blockchain, VChain blockchain network. So my point is that kind of allocation is to engage and incentivize enterprise to get started. But eventually, for the mass adoptions, for the mass utility, they're gonna pay for the use case. They're gonna pay for the usage. I give an example. If you look at look at internet as a reference. If you look at Amazon or Alibaba, when they started, they are trying to convince people saying, you gotta build up the e-commerce, right? And 20 years ago, only stay in China, only 4 million internet users, 1999. Why people believe that? People were like, there were not so much users, and even the performance of network was not that great. How could I buy things over the online, right? So what Alibaba has been doing, they're doing two things. Firstly, keep motivate and educate the different enterprise, starting from small, saying, oh, come to build, come to use the website to do your e-commerce, and we're not going to charge you anything, but you can start to use. And on the other hand, they keep building up the tools and infrastructure services. You need a payment, okay, I got Alipay. You got a delivery service, I build that. Also, they build up a customer service. So basically, for those small enterprise, especially for small enterprise, you don't have to worry about anything. You just say, okay, I want to start to sell online for my products. I put a nice picture, put some campaign, and I can do my e-commerce, right? With a minimum charge. But eventually, Alibaba running with the cost, like a blockchain networks. So eventually, when scale goes up, more people start to use that, and they pay lots of money to Alibaba. So the same methodology we're trying to replicate is the same thing. We want to engage more enterprise, start to build, and when they find out the value of using the technology or using the blockchain networks, and for sure they're willing to pay for that. So whatever for BMW, for Givenchy, we're all going through that, and it proves we're right, right? Like from one SKU to 100% of leather goods, and now we're extending to more categories. That's a solid proof. So eventually, I'm saying maybe we don't have to use them up about the allocation of for enterprises. If we are able to get more enterprise coming on, we reach that kind of like a turning point, like break-even point. Everybody will be happy.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Sunny, thank you very much for your hard work. Can you actually wrap up by just saying bye to the Korean community?
Sure.
Yeah.
Right now, VChain is being focused on enterprise adoption, mass adoptions, focused on creating the value, and we need more builders. So if you are passionate about the blockchain, if you are passionate about being a startup, using the new technology to change the world, join us. Go to visit vchainworld.io. You can find all of the information you need, and also we just launched a new website. It's for builders, so you can really go through. Imagine you're a builder, and what do you need, what we can offer, and eventually how you're gonna build up your own business. It's kind of very easy to see. So come to visit us and join us for the changing the world.
All right, awesome. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.